And we're live. Hey, everybody. I am here with the amazing Chris Williams. Chris, I'm so excited that we get to feature you today for our 10th and final interview. So, last but definitely not least, and this is our series called How She Did It. And Kayla and I really wanted to pull back the curtain, so to speak, on businesses so that other entrepreneurs coming up through the ranks can really see, like, what did it take for these women to invest in themselves? What did it take for them to get started? Sometimes we feel like it's easy for them or they had a different kind of start than I have. But by sharing all these stories, we're really able to show that, like, we all start, kind of in a similar place. So, you guys, I'm going to share with you just a little bit about who Chris is, because she is incredible. She's a soulful business and leadership coach for women, wellness coaches, entrepreneurs, and holistic practitioners. She supports women to activate heart, soul, and abundance in their wellness practices with Flow and Ease. Her superpower is building organic, heart-centered communities that convert to high-quality, high-paying clients without all the high tech, without all the discovery sessions and the overwhelm, which who doesn't want that, right? So you guys can learn more about Chris at shineabundancenow.com, and we'll remind you of where that is at the end. But Chris, did I miss anything in that introduction?
No, thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you, Lisa. Like, you and Kayla have just been my cheerleaders from the very beginning. And it is so my honor to be here and to cheer those of you in the Rise Leadership Circle community on as well. I'm so super.
Thank you. It has been, I was just sharing with Chris before we popped on live, like, it's just been a joy to watch her create the brand that she has created and the business that she's created, because it's really phenomenal. And Chris came on board as one of our mastermind clients, like, very early on when we were first getting started with Rise Leadership Circle. And we got to watch her just take step after step after step. And you're someone, Chris, to me, who's created a lot of success in your life. And by believing in yourself, that's one thing I've always seen is, like, you've just figured it out. You've believed in yourself. You've taken the next step. But I would love it if you would be willing to just share your story of, how did you get where you are today? Like, how did you get started?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love this question because I think we all can relate to this. And I know I related when I was hearing other people and other powerful women and, just kind of learning, what are some of the things that they did. And, you know, yes, I believed in myself. And I also needed a guide. I needed a mentor. I need somebody who had what it is that I wanted that could teach me how to do it in a way that was going to take me step by step by step. And to this day, and I share this with all of my clients and also with my community, because this really was a pivotal game changing moment for me when I had a conversation with Kayla. And she allowed me, the conversation that I had with her really allowed me to get out of "Ugh, I am so in debt. I literally had 20 grand on my credit cards. I literally only had $100, like, in my checking account, any wiggle room. And yet I knew I needed support. Like, I knew that I had been trying to piece it together on my own. And I just knew there were things that I knew that I didn't know yet. And I really wanted the support. Like, I was a deep heart yes. And yet my bank account was like, nope, 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 nope. And I'm like, but I really want this. So really, Kayla helped me to step into the place of creating what it is that I wanted, and allowed me to see that I was really a powerful creator, that I wasn't a victim to circumstance, that I wasn't a victim to, all right, the bank account says no, but you know what? There's always a way to create what it is that we want. And, like, that was worth every penny of investment, that one call. I mean, I definitely got a hell of a lot more. But
I remember this.
oh,
Yeah, I remember that moment. And there was a lot of fear, right? Of course, there was a lot of fear. It's like, look, I've already got 20 grand on a credit card. I'm not in a position to just go into more debt.
mm-mm.
And you created it. I mean, like, and was it a $10,000 investment at the time for the program you were stepping into, right? So
Yes, yes. And
yeah.
I literally, I mean, I have 3 kids at home. I was, trying to figure out how he was going to do that. I remember having a conversation with my husband, and he about fell out of his chair when I told him how much I wanted to invest. So, saying yes to myself and saying, you know what, I can figure this out. There is a way, even though my bank account says no, there is a way to create. And it's because of that conversation and because of the support that I had that I remember that first month I created $1,000 and I was like, holy shit, like I just did it. And the next month I went on to create 20 grand. And by the 6 months of support, was already in the six figures mark. And like to that was pivotal to say, you know what? Yes, this is a circumstance. And I know that I am so much greater than my circumstance. I know that there's a way to figure it out. There are multiple possibilities here.
No struggle required, no suffering required, right? Because I think the message we so often get is it's like, well, you have to suffer and struggle and work very hard, and nothing against,
Mhm.
hard work, but the messaging, the programming we get is it needs to be hard, you need to suffer for a long time,
Yeah.
and that is an option, right? Yes, okay. But you made a choice within yourself of like, what if I do it differently?
Mhm.
What if I decide to believe in myself and decide to just go out and see what I can create?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that piece of believing in yourself and also having a support team is critical.
Yeah.
Knowing that you were there, knowing that Kayla was there, knowing that I had a community, that if I had questions, I could reach out and I could ask, and I had guidance and I had accessibility and I had coaching and I had accountability. Like those are the pieces that we don't have when we try to do it on our own. Right. Like those are the pieces that I recognized that when I was trying to do it on my own, I was trying to like piece all these things together. And yeah, I didn't know what I didn't know.
Mhm,
And it wasn't until I learned and I could ask questions and say, okay, what about this? How can I tweak this? Let me go in this direction. Let me just take this next step.
mhm. 100%. And you're saying something I want to pinpoint too that I think is really important in this entrepreneurship journey because, what Chris is saying is she didn't actually know how. She had a lot of pieces and parts and things that could work together, right? She didn't really know how, and none of us know how when we get started.
Mhm.
So she was like, look, let me get a mentor in the community in some direction. And even then, as we begin to take steps in our own business, we have to figure it out as we go. It's like, okay, here's the roadmap. Let me take step one. And then when I take the step, I'm going to get more information. Some stuff's going to work, some stuff isn't. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to take the next step.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. It's just,
Exactly.
it is step by step. And it's not, it's not like it was a miracle, like, let
Mhm.
me just like wave my magic wand and sit on a meditation pillow and boom, there's my business. It's not that. It was the willingness to not quit. It's the willingness to not give up and just
Absolutely.
figure it out. Right.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
always figure it out. And yeah, step by step. And one of the quotes that I return to all the time that I learned from you and Kayla was the how opens in the commitment. It
Mm.
wasn't until I committed, it wasn't until I said yes to having the support that I needed, to yes to building the business that I wanted to build. Oops, sorry about that. That then the house started opening, right? When I was so focused on, but I can't because all of these things, I was focused on not being able to. But once I said yes and committed, all of a sudden, all these different ideas and possibilities and things opened up. And I just needed to take that next step. And then the next thing opened. Pardon
This is
my
everything. So you can literally like the bells are going off to pinpoint, like, pay attention to what she's saying. Like bells are ringing. So it's so true. So yeah, first you commit and then the how reveals itself. And so, for somebody who's out there listening, if you're in the space of like just getting started or just trying to figure out like how to get to the next level, just check in with yourself. Have you fully committed yet? Because the commitment always comes first. And what our brains want to do is like, actually, before I commit, I want to see all the steps from A to Z.
Mhm.
That's how our logical mind is working. It's like, well, if I can't see all the steps, if I don't know how can I commit? It doesn't work that way. And
Mm-mm.
so what Chris is saying and what she did and what I watched her do so powerfully was I'm committed. I am all in. I have no idea how. I'm just going to take the next step.
Mhm. That's exactly the way it works. And as an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to take risks like that, right? Like the entrepreneurial journey is one where we get to be resilient, we get to take risks, we get to trust in ourselves, we get to trust in the support that we have, and we just get to try it. It's like a huge experiment,
Mhm.
right? And what I see, a lot of people, a lot of my clients, I'm sure a lot of your clients getting stuck in too, is yeah, I need to know from A to Z how it's all going to work out and it needs to be perfect. Instead
Yeah.
of, you know what, let's just try it. Let's just try it and then get feedback and then take the next step and get feedback and then take the next step.
So beautiful. So one of the questions we've been asking some of the women who've been in this series is like, how did you create the access for the resources to invest? And what you're saying is you just went out and created it.
Mhm.
Can you just share with us, like, what was that? What was the first thing you created? Well, how did you create that first $1,000?
Yeah. I honestly, what I thought when I first decided that I wanted to invest and I knew that I needed to create that, first of all, I took it in steps. Like it wasn't about coming up with the entire $10,000. It was about how do I come up with just the next payment, and then we'll open it up as we go. And so I really thought about a couple things, like what do I want to do to come up with the remaining $900. And I was like, well, I could do a workshop. I could get a group program going, which is what I did when I was building and growing my health coaching practice was, taking people through a 6-week wellness program. And I said, let me just get one going. Like, I'll just get one going. And I'm like, and really, I said, let me just enroll 5 people. They pay $200 each. There's my $1,000. And within 2 weeks, it was done. And I'm like, okay. And I remember voxering with Kayla back and forth, and just like, okay, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. So again, having that support and accountability there. And I got the $1,000. I'm like, well, all right, then I guess I can do this. And I mean, it really just started there with allowing the idea of possibility to come in of what is it that I wanted to do? What is it that I wanted to teach? What is it that I felt that my clients needed? And whenever I find my place, myself saying, well, what's the next step? It always comes back to how can I serve my clients? What is
Mhm.
it that they need? How can I just help them take that next step as well? And then the idea comes in of how can I serve? How can I help? How can I help them get whatever it is that they need? And so kind of
Yes.
around that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Mhm.
I love this so much. And it really can be this simple, right? We don't, oh, I mean, with the way the world is today and so many businesses and the availability of online, we don't need necessarily to have huge investments to begin a business, from this soul centered place, especially that a lot of women are just, this fire is inside of them. They have this mission that they're ready to get out in the world and they get stopped at this financial place. And that's why this is so important.
Mhm.
And incidentally, you guys, I forgot to mention in the beginning, I'll be sharing at the end. Today's the last day to apply for the Rise Up Ripple Out grant, where we're giving away 5 $2,000 grants that you can invest in your business. So we want to help you to just give you that kickstart, and I'll share more at the end. But Chris, I mean, I think it's so, you said something else too that I think is important. You created the first $1,000.
Mhm.
She wasn't like, how can I create 10 or how can I create $100,000? She's like, how can I just create the first 1,000 while meeting my clients where they are? What do they need? And how can
Mhm.
we meet in the middle? Um, and then you went on to $20,000 the next month. Can you tell me about how you sort of leveraged that first 1,000 and turned it into 20,000?
Gosh, I'm trying to remember actually. This is several years
It's
ago.
been a while ago.
I
Yeah.
create that next 20,000. Honestly, I kept going. And I think what I did is from the people that I took through my 6-week program, I had people that wanted to continue to work with me one-on-one. So that was one way. So inviting people into another experience, knowing that you've got clients that you're serving in one level. And then, basically I had 2 core offers. I have my one-on-one experience and I have my 6-week wellness program. And so inviting people into another opportunity where it was where they wanted to go next was really where I started generating, more income.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, you just continue to meet people where they were at.
Mhm.
So what does it look like for you today? I mean, now you've grown your business exponentially. It's really an amazing brand and business that you've built. How do you continue to invest in yourself as you get to the next level and the next level? What is,
Mhm.
have you continued to invest in yourself, and what are some of the ways that you continue to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have continued to invest in myself. As a matter of fact, it's a non negotiable for me to invest in myself because I know how easy it is for us to get into our heads and we can get so close to our own stuff that we can't see it, right? Like we can't read the label when we're inside the bottle. And so it's really, really important for me to have somebody else's eyes and ears and heart on what it is that I'm doing that can guide me. So I actually significantly increased my investments. I'm part of a mastermind. I still work one-on-one with Kayla. I'm also working with another mindset coach just to kind of keep my head in the game. So I've got multiple places. So instead of going from, oh my gosh, how am I going to invest in myself just this one time? I've really expanded into what are some other ways that I feel like I want some additional support? And so I absolutely invest in myself and the support and that I need, because again, I want to continue to have somebody that's going to support me and grow.
Yeah, it's that saying like new levels, new devils, right? There's
Oh,
always, as we expand to the next place, there are new levels, there are new things we need to get out of the way. There are new levels
totally.
of, being that's required of us to manage the next place that we're going to. And, things like investing in team and just there's always new layers of support that allow us to keep growing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I first invested in Elevate for that, and then within 6 months, I quickly invested again into Evolve at that time, which was a high level mastermind for women that were going to, quarter of a million or more, and had that support there. So it was constantly up leveling in the support, because we all run into new levels, new devils, no matter if you're trying to build consistent 5K months or if you're building a multi-million-dollar business. We all hit those places and we have to have support. I know you and Kayla invest in support and have coaches to guide you in multiple areas too. And yeah, it's when I think about businesses, regardless if they're brick and mortar, but all businesses invest in support. All
Absolutely.
businesses. There's not one business out there. There's not one successful entrepreneur or business that does not have some level of support.
So fun. It's been so fun through this series to really showcase the different ways that women have, really started their businesses from the ground up. And although they're different, and I love this idea of just creating as you go. We don't have to go into debt. That's not required. You can create as you go. And I think that that's really important for people to hear too. So I am curious, like, what's the one thing that you wish every entrepreneur knew about investing in their business?
Hmm. I'm really going to bring it back to trust. You have to commit first. Like make the commitment first. Let yourself receive that support and trust in that. And the hell truly does open. Like if I hadn't done that, and that's why I said that was the game changer. If I hadn't done that, I would still be in debt. I would still be trying to piece it together. And because I said yes, and even though I didn't know how, I paid off all my credit cards. I paid off all my car. 2020, I actually hit the $500,000 mark in my business. I don't know if you know that or not, but that was like, holy shit. I put my kids through college. But it had to start someplace. And it had to start with saying yes to the commitment to myself and having that support. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't take that one step. I
Yeah.
truly believe that.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, and I would say I've witnessed that. I've watched you always be committed. There was never a time when you were like, maybe I'm out, maybe this is too much, maybe I should quit. It's just like, no, the minute it gets hard, I'm going to double down on my commitment. And I think that is such good advice. Stay committed, stay the course, because look at where you are in just a few years.
Yeah.
So fun to celebrate you. So I'm curious, we've been talking about these $2,000 grants. If you had $2,000 just sort of plopped in your bank account for your business today, how would you invest? How would you use that $2,000 at this level that you're at today?
What would I do with that $2,000? I would definitely invest in coaching still. Like that would still be like, that's my, it's kind of like I see how like when you go bowling, right? And when you're little, when you're a kid, they put those gutter rails up so that
Yeah,
the ball can't go in the thing, right? Like
totally.
to me, that's coaching, like
Yeah,
it keeps me from going into those side rails. It doesn't mean that I don't swerve.
yeah,
I might swerve and I might hit a rail, but I always
yeah.
still at least keep going forward and keep having that momentum. So, I mean, really,
Love
that's what I would do with it. I would put it right back into investing.
Totally. Yeah, I believe in it too. I mean, obviously, we're both in this industry in different ways, but
Mhm,
100% it is so important to have somebody in your corner who
mhm.
can see the things you can't see when it's kind of like, think about, I don't follow basketball, so I don't even want to say a name. I'll get it wrong, but like, think about these basketball stars, right? Who are out there on the field doing it. They still need a coach because they're in the game playing. They can't see everything, right? They need that person who can see what's up ahead, see what's coming. Um, Thank you. I want to speak into just really quickly our grant because today is the last day, you guys, to apply for one of the Rise Up Ripple Out grants. And you've heard Kayla and I, if you guys have been following along, you've probably heard us talking about it. One of the things we wanted to do when we started Rise was let's do business differently. How are we going to do it differently? And we decided we would earmark every single dollar that a woman invests into Rise. So thank you, Chris, because this is part of your gift also, as you know, as being a member of our community, is that we get to make this ripple effect out into the community. And the last couple of years, with the way the world has evolved, we were like, you know, we really want to do this in a way that meets entrepreneurs where they are, that allows these amazing women to get their missions out into the world that are changing the planet. So you guys can apply. It's a no strings attached grant. I dropped the link already here. If you're seeing it, click on it, apply, share it with your friends, let them know. It's a really quick application process. You can also attend our retreat just for $1. We'll be announcing the winners live. And you know, just come and get your soul filled, get your business and your soul cup filled at this retreat. It's going to be our best one yet. So Chris, thank you.
I can't wait to see you in person.
Yes. I cannot wait. I hear we're get to have like dinner together or something is going on that we get to actually have connection time. And I can't wait. So I am just like over the moon and excited. And most of the retreat, you guys, is virtual. There are a few people who will be live in the audience, but due to COVID, we wanted to keep it mainly virtual. But hopefully for fall, we're hoping for fall.
Hey, and those virtual retreats are off the charts too. I mean, I said the virtual retreats that you and Kayla run are amazing. I know that I've invited lots of my clients to participate in the retreats in the past. They've always gotten amazing value. I show up for them. I still learn, I still grow. I'm so excited to continue to learn through this next retreat that you guys are putting on too.
Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited too. Thank you. And you get to, you guys, you get to be with powerful people like Chris. When you come to a retreat, you put yourself in a room like this, you get to be next to in breakout rooms with people like Chris who are building $500,000 businesses and beyond. And so that's the power too, right? Because we do a lot of breakout sessions. There's even virtual, we do breakout sessions where you're in small Zoom rooms. So you get to connect, you get to ask questions, you get to give each other feedback, and you make friends, you know, powerful friends who can believe in you and guide you. So amazing. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. And I hope you guys, thanks for being here. I hope you'll have a great day. And again, if you want to reach out to Chris, if you are health and wellness, you know, holistic practitioner, shineabundancenow.com.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay. Yes. And you're on Facebook and Instagram and all the places.
Yep.
So
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, bye everybody.